Hey FlossTube Stitchers, I sure hope your day is going better than mine has. I'll tell you about that in a minute. I'm going to start with what happened yesterday. So I had a great day at the shop, lots of customers that had never been here before, several that had, but maybe don't get to this area very often unless there's a special event in their extended family or something like that. So I wanted to give a shout out to Julie from North Carolina, Debbie from Pennsylvania, and Ginger from West Virginia, who for sure watches me. Hey, Ginger. So then, let's see, after work, I went to Target, not expecting much because I follow this Target dollar spot type Instagram. I know there's a couple of them. I forgot to look up which one I actually follow. Maybe I follow more than one. But they're always showing this really cool stuff that they have in the dollar spot that are local stores, and we have two that are fairly close. One is right here, probably within a mile of the shop, and the other one is a little bit south of where I live in another county, but they're both, pretty close by. They never have anything. And I don't go that often. I don't have time to go every week, but I guess that's what you have to do when you're searching for something. So anyway, when I see something on Instagram, I take a screenshot of it and try to remember to go in the next couple of days to see if our Target has it. And then if they don't, I never remember to go back and check again. So I need to be better about that. But they did have a few of the things that I saw on Instagram. So I'm going to show you those, because I think they would be really great finishing pieces for some of the smalls. So the first one is this cute little house, and I actually like it just the way it is, so I might decide to use it this way either all the time in my dining room, because it is kind of this color green and I have black accents, so it might look really cute, on my shelf just for every day. But I made sure I looked at the back of all the pieces to see if there wasn't any weird marks or scuffs, or that there wasn't any glue showing, so that maybe I could put the stitched piece on the back side and still use the front side. So of course I had to look at every single one of these in there, but I really like that. Then they had a similar size, but in the shape of a barn. And again, I like it just the way it is, but maybe I would do Halloween on the back, and then I could still use it for both holidays. And all of these were $3, and they're just called house signs. I don't know if you can order them online. I've actually never checked, since I do have Targets close to me. I never really thought to check, but a lot of times the seasonal things or the dollar spot things aren't long-term investments for them, and when they're gone, they're gone. Then the third one I got was black, because of course I love black accents. And again, this is so cute the way it is. This might be a little tall for a tiered tray, but maybe it would go on the top section. But I could do something for different holidays on the black side. This would also be good for a bee theme or strawberries or something like that. So anyway, I was excited about that. And then my niece had texted me, Caitlin, the one that still lives here, and she said, hey, do you want to go to dinner tonight? And I'm like, oh, cool. And she goes, I hope I'm not interrupting your dinner plans. And I'm like, leftovers? That's okay, I'll come. So we went to an Italian restaurant near where she lives that we had never been to before, and it was just a lovely evening. Then I stitched, and I stitched way too late, but I was having fun. So of course I packed like 5 projects to take to the wedding last weekend. Didn't put a single stitch in, but it is nice to have an option for maybe a day where rain would, eliminate one of your activities, or something else, fell through and you had some free time. But I didn't do any stitching, but this was one of the projects I pulled. So it's from Pine Mountain Designs, called Be Jolly, and they come as a kit with a pre-finished pillow and the buttons. And I got the light brown part of the deer done last night. And then today I worked on the lettering, and I thought, oh, the deer doesn't quite look complete. So of course I had to put his hooves, his tail, and his antlers on so that I could show you that it looks like a deer. So the only thing I have left to do is the green collar, and there's a little yellow stitch, but I might put a bell there. I'm not sure. And then the individual green stitches that go around in a circle. And I'm debating on whether they carry their stitches. And, you know, sometimes I'm okay with that. I just use one strand and then go over each leg of the stitch twice and then carry the thread. So there's only one strand. But this might be the time that I spend doing individual stitches using the pin stitch. Since it was such a quick project, I may take the time to do that and just practice doing my pin stitch so that there's no carrying of threads. So I stayed up until like after 1, then I read my book and actually finished it. And so I went to sleep like at 2 o'clock or something. This is the pre-finished pillow. And guess what, guys? You can go to I think it's Pine Needles. Don't go to the old one, Pine Mountain Design. Go to pineneedles.com, which is her newer quilting with a little bit of cross stitch. And she still has these. I don't know if it's the same fabric. She still shows this picture, but in all these years, because this is from 2005, so she may not have the same fabric, but she'll still have picked a really cute fabric. So you can still get them. I'm going to try to order them wholesale, but in the meantime, if you really want one, check out her site. So I went to bed at 2, and I didn't get very much sleep because at about 5:30, my dad called and said that my mom had fallen out of bed or fell while she was intentionally getting out of bed. And she seemed like she was in pain. And when the aide and the nurse came, they said, we better send her to the hospital to get her checked out. So she had already been there for 2 hours, and they were waiting for results of a CAT scan, I think. And then he called like 45 minutes later and said, hey, nothing's broken. They're going to send her home just with a prescription for a pain medication, but you need to come pick us up. So my husband was out walking at the time. He goes really early in the morning because then, especially on Sundays, because then he goes to church. And I said, I'm not going to go to the hospital and pick up 2 feeble people, one who was just admitted because she fell out of bed. I'm not picking up 2 people by myself with no help. So I had to wait till he came back from his walk. And then it was raining. Do you know how many times I got in and out of my car in the rain today? Go to the hospital, go in, pick him up, take him to his facility, you know, back and forth, go get his prescription, go get her prescription filled. So then I went home and I took a nap, and then I got ready to come to the shop. And I usually stop at Starbucks or someplace like that for breakfast. Well, this morning the Starbucks app said that my local one that I go to was not taking orders through the app. And I thought, I am not getting out in the rain. So I needed to go someplace that I could either park in front of real quick or I don't know. I mean, I had to eat. It was like, I think it was 2 o'clock by the time I got here, and I'm usually here like around 11 or 12. So I felt like I was really late, but I didn't want to be out in the rain. So I thought, oh, I'm just going to go to Sheets. It's around the corner from the shop, and I know it won't take long, and they probably won't be really busy because it wasn't exactly, you know, lunchtime. So luckily I brought hair stuff so I could fluff up my hair because I was out in the rain so many times. And I just wanted to I don't know, just tell you what happened. So I placed my order through the little machine, and when it came out, it was number 457, and I was born in April in 1957. So 457, those are, you know, numbers that are dear to my heart. And I'm like, I see what you did there. Everything's gonna be okay. It's all good. And then when I went to pick the winners of the scissors from last week with the random number generator, the name it picked was Luna 27, and I was born on the 27th of April. So I was just really touched that those numbers came up for me today. It was just so odd. And I just felt a sense of calm and everything's going to be okay. And it doesn't matter if your hair's wet or you don't look perfect or things aren't going exactly your way. At the end of the day, it's all good. It's all gonna, it's all gonna be okay. So anyway, I got the thought that I was gonna pick another winner. So I did. So I picked two winners. So Luna 27, she had wanted the heart scissors, and then the second name I chose was, or that the random number generator chose, was Beverly Gardam, and she had wanted the pink leopard. And I believe these are two new ladies that I haven't dealt with before, so I did comment that they should send me their mailing address and I'll get these scissors out to them in padded envelopes. But so I gave two. Also a little bit because I skipped a week because of the wedding, and I thought, oh, I think I'm gonna give two. I don't know, that put me in a good mood. So that's that, $4.57. I'm gonna keep my receipt just to remind me. Okay. So that's the scissors. And, okay, so I talked about, I'm going to cheat and say that Be Jolly was also my vintage stitch since it was from 2005, even though I didn't start working on it until last night. And then my other whip, if you follow me on social media, you already saw this to this degree of completion because I did not work on it. I haven't worked on it since Wednesday. So this is how much I got done, but I know there's a lot of you that are not on Facebook. You've specifically told me for various reasons that you don't go on social media very often. So I like to keep everybody updated here too. And for those that commented on which blue I should choose for the lettering, I had like 3 different choices. I ended up choosing blue suede because I thought it was a really pretty color. And that's for the lettering. And then, oh, I wanted to read a comment. I'll be right back. I forgot to bring my phone here. I knew I was going to forget to do that because I had plugged my phone back in. It was almost dead when we went to the hospital, and I thought of all nights to forget to plug my phone in. It's when I really need to use it. So anyway, but I wanted to read you this comment from Kathy Nans. It has to do with this land that I love. It said, just among other things, she said, just wanted to share my thoughts about the piece you're working on. The minute I saw the fish, I thought of salmon. So see, that was a good choice of color on my part. My dad was an avid trout fisherman and tied his own flies. He and my mother used to go every year for the salmon run to Walnut Creek on Lake Erie. Brought back fond memories of them. So I just, I liked that confirmation that the color I chose reminded me of salmon, and it just added a little touch of, there's a couple more fish that I need to stitch, but it just added a little more touch of a pinkier color rather than having it be all red. And as a reminder, this is what the chart looks like. I don't mind the red. I would have been perfectly happy with it, but something just gave me the thought to make it look more like a fish that I recognized. All right, and by the way, we do have these charts in stock. How much are they? I didn't price my own. I think there's 7 or something like that. And this chart is from 2003, one of the few birds of a feathers that are still available at the distributor. And now I think the only thing I have left to talk about are the new charts that we got this week, and they all came on automatics. The first 2 are from Amy Bruecken. They're in the new Halloween series that she has called Batty. So that's 3 and 4. And then Hands-On Design. Oh, they were priced $10. And from Hands-On Design, Beach Please, which is $10. And she shows it 2 ways, and there's a tutorial. I can't remember if that's perforated paper, but I think it might be different from what she stitched this on. But I haven't watched her video yet, and I don't remember from the email what it said, but look at all those cute little designs. I just love them. The fabric she chose was cute. I have the goldfish rickrack on order. Anyway, that's just so sweet. Then Clover and Hive, and I love her finish on that. I love, is that fabric? I think it's fabric rather than paper. The one that looks like a hexagon bee skep kind of design. So that's really cute. And then she had another beach one called More Beach, and there's 2 different designs in there. She has some of the best sayings on her charts. All right, then from JBW Designs, this is her 4th in the limited edition collector's Christmas reprints. So these are all ornaments that have been discontinued in their original leaflet format, but to keep them still available, she puts them all in books, and this is the 4th one. It's $18. And with her auto, she included a couple charts that I could do with as I will, and I would like to give these to somebody for this week's giveaway. All you have to do is say something about Christmas or something about JBW, maybe something that you've stitched of hers. And I'll put you in the drawing next week. Then the Just Cross Stitch Halloween issue came. And I know that not everybody gets these every year. Maybe you don't stitch that much Halloween or you already have a lot. But the comments that I hear when people say, oh, I only found a couple things that I wanted, any number of these designs would be more than $10 individually. So if you like 2 or 3 or 4 things, it's worth the $10. And it's not, you know, it's not that thick. It's not going to take up that much room in your stash. So it's kind of an odd situation. The same thing happens with the Just Cross Stitch Christmas ornament issue. Oh, I'm not going to get it because I only found a couple I wanted to do. And I'm like, but those would all be, you know, $6, $7, $8, $10 on their own. So it's a better deal to get a bigger. But that's, I mean, you can't buy everything. I get it. I can't do everything. But this is a nice view of everything that's in here. So if you haven't seen it yet, maybe that'll help you decide whether you want it or not. Then the next automatic is from Primrose Cottage Stitches. Yay, I said their name right. I don't know why, but I have trouble saying their name. And they have the last 3 in their 9-patch series. Oops, so they have the October and November and December. And they're all done on 25 count vintage country mocha. I want to do all of those, but I'm trying to like do a tour through different designers and not keep doing the same designers over and over. So I'm making myself wait before I start those. Then they had a lovely larger chart that actually has a smaller design in there too. And this was done as an anniversary design. It's really sweet. And it's multiple pages. And then the second design is in there. Oh yeah, I can show you the back because there's no chart on the back. So because of all the information in the pages, these are 20. Then Stitching with the Housewives. Their new series is called Let's Go Ride a Bike, and they're not naming them the month, they're naming them what it is. So this is called Pumpkin Patch rather than September or October. They're giving it a different name. That's 9. And then their month-to-month series is called September, and that has the 2 designs, the larger one that you can put on a basket or a wall hanging type situation, and then the little one that goes in a tart pan. And their third one this time is called Welcome Pumpkin. And you can get a lot more information by watching their FlossTube videos. And then the last automatic is from With Thy Needle and Thread. This is called Autumn's Acorn Gathering. And this is Be Ye Thankful. And the last one is an antique reproduction called Tree of Life Sampler. So there you go. I hope your week goes great. I'm going to continue to realize that everything is in God's hands and it's all going to be okay. And I'm just thankful that my mom didn't break anything, because her mother had broken her hip in a fall, ended up in a nursing home, and never went home again. And my dad was a little frightened that the same thing was going to happen. So there was, kind of a lot of emotion involved in it for a couple hours before we knew everything that was going on. So anyway, it's all good, and I totally appreciate everybody's comments, everybody's prayers for different things, your well wishes to the new bride and groom in our family, and I just, think of you all as friends. So we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.